All right, so I was able to put that there, which is nice. So basically, what I'm doing right now is I have my own Discord channel, right? And I was asked to put the live stream web link, if you'll call it that, into the Discord chat. So I just did that, and that's what was going on there. Sorry if there's any confusion, but yeah, that's what we're looking at. So I know I just got this going, so hopefully everything's running smooth. And just make sure everything's running over here on my end. Hey, Success. And hey, Chris, nice to have you with me. Awesome. Glad that you guys are here. Love that. Sorry, just making sure I've got every last thing running here. So I think we're looking all right. Perfect. And now we are good. Hey, Chris, nice to have you with us. Hopefully, everyone is able to have a good Thanksgiving weekend. Scroll, gotcha, nice. Successes on chapter 14. Love to hear that. Love to hear that everyone's doing well. And hey, Ola, nice to have you here with us as well. And I hope everyone's been doing well. Obviously, we have the holiday season in full swing right now, even in Hero Wars, right? So that's cool. Um, and I got asked actually earlier today about Kai and basically how he's being heavily promoted, for this event, right? The CyberCon event. And, is it possible we might be seeing a rework or something like that? I think it's totally possible. I will be talking about that a little bit later and kind of like what mobile did. And so, maybe that will give us some insights into what might happen in the future. I'm not entirely sure, but that is something I want to talk about for sure. So I'm just saying that up front so I don't forget. And Astral Season. I know we had some things going on here, right? So, hey Gary, nice to have you pop in. Awesome, always a pleasure. And yeah, so one thing here, you guys will notice, I didn't claim my 50 Soul Stones of Artemis yet, nor did I collect Fox. And the reason for that is I'm hoping that next week there's an event that asks for Soul Stones, and I will be claiming these then. If not, then I'll just wait until the season gets closer to its end. Here we have quests, right? I haven't really had a chance to do these today too much, but got to make sure I do my daily ones at least. So campaign mode using a support hero, campaign mode using Artemis. Defeat 20 monsters in chapter 5. So it looks like they want me to do 3 battles in chapter 5. We're going to hop over to chapter 5 now. And I think I have enough energy to run this Mojo quest 3 times. I don't have him absolute yet, so might as well. And what was it? They wanted us to run, I'm going to just get rid of everyone here. They wanted us to run Artemis, if I can find her. Artemis, there she is, a support hero. So I know Jorgen's a support hero for sure. And I guess I may as well just run, I guess I'll run Ish, and then, I don't know, if something goes wrong, I'll put in, probably don't really need anyone else, but I'll put in Daredevil, what the heck. All right, just for the quest that we need to get done here, so I'm going to go ahead and do that. I don't know, has everyone already done these quests already for Astral Season? And yeah, so I have Artemis in. All right, so yeah, that's kind of the plan here, Gary. I'm just going to try to do all 3 at the same time. We'll probably just run this 2 more times real quick. So yeah, the idea for today's live stream, I guess, for the most part, Ola, is that I'm gonna be here to answer any questions that you guys have, as well as completing my quests, which is pretty standard. But I do want to talk a little bit about Kai and kind of because I got asked recently, what are the odds that anything gets reworked on Kai, and if anything, what can we expect? Like how can they improve him or whatnot? So I'm gonna just go ahead and talk about what they do in mobile, and the reason for that is sometimes mobile gives us a little bit of an insight into what's going on in terms of what the devs are thinking and what they're potentially going to do with him in the future. And you never know, but I think that that's a good starting point because I mean, obviously Facebook got Yasmin, and Facebook and web got Yasmin first. Then now Yasmin is in mobile. Obviously, it's a little bit different. Yasmin has a little bit more attack, but dodge is less prevalent in mobile. So, they'll make a compromise that, basically offsets any problems in the game in itself, if that makes sense. Because like the dodge meta is very different in mobile than it is on Facebook and web. So I'll be talking a little bit about that as well. And answering any questions that you guys have, feel free to put them in chat. Always happy to answer any questions and try to alleviate any questions that you guys may have. Another question that I've gotten, and I will probably make a video on this eventually, is basically just explaining what's going on here. I mean, obviously we got a lot of experienced players here in chat, but sometimes there are some less experienced players as well. And so someone asked me, what is up with these battle challenges? Like, how do they even work? Like, how do you have all maxed characters, etc., right? Red +2. So a lot of you guys already know this, and I apologize, but I'm going to just go ahead and share this real quick anyway, and I may make a future video on it. But basically, right, when you have auto and maximum, you're basically saying that all the heroes that you have, you want them to be at the red +2 level with all the skins maxed, everything maxed. So that is kind of why you see that all these heroes are red +2 and they're all maxed out. It's not that I've spent, someone asked me, did you spend like $50,000 to do this? No, that's not what happened at all. This is just one of the parts of the game that's on Facebook and web that's really cool, is that you can actually test out different heroes at their max stages. And yeah, no, I did not. All my heroes are not at red +2. Not even close, if I'm being honest. So just wanted to clarify that. So those are a couple questions that I've gotten earlier in the day. And obviously, if anyone has any other questions, feel free to let me know. Obviously, if they want to donate to help me get to that point, I'm totally okay with that. No, not saying anything no to that, but that was an interesting question that I got. All right, so this one might be a little bit annoying because some people on my server don't like to use tanks. There was one person who had a Martha only team because they thought it would prevent them from being attacked. Yeah, no, I don't think so. All right, so I guess I need to do something in an adventure. So I will start an adventure on level 120, and I just need to do a couple of them. So I will do that. But yeah, how have you guys been? I mean, obviously, I feel like we've been kind of thrown into the deep end on Facebook and web in the sense that we recently had, so we had Astral Season, and now we have CyberCon event. And I know not too long from now, I mean, once the Astral event is over, very shortly after that, we will have Winterfest. So I'm looking forward to that. I don't know how you guys are feeling about it. It should be a pretty good time. I'm expecting it to be similar to last year's event. And someone asked me also, I guess, in one of my comments on one of my vids, is it worth, is CyberCon worth it? Hey, question mark, what's up? And asking me kind of, is CyberCon a good event to spend on, right? As opposed to just saving up for Winterfest. And I'm going to say yes and no, and here's why. So it's really hard to just type out an answer because sometimes there's complexities within a question. So with Winterfest really kind of has you dig deep. So if you're willing to spend a little bit more, then I would say Winterfest really, I mean, it's kind of like Winterfest, like the more you spend, the more you get back. So that's what that's all about. Where CyberCon, I feel like, definitely can help you guys out a little bit more, generally speaking. And I personally think CyberCon might be a little bit more beneficial to players who aren't all maxed out and everything that they can get in CyberCon. That's my hot take. I mean, obviously, I know a lot of people love it, a lot of people hate it. So, do with it what you will. But I do think, some of the higher ticket items aren't going to be in CyberCon, like Totems and stuff like that, where Totems will be available in Winterfest. But again, I think there's something to be said with, the scale. So Winterfest, the more you spend, the better reward you're going to get. But in CyberCon, you don't have to spend that much and you'll still get some good rewards. So that's kind of where I'm at. I know a lot of people, that may or may not help the person who asked this question, but I hope it kind of gives you a little bit more insight in what I was thinking when I answered it. Because I think I tried to answer it, but it was hard to type out an answer because it gets wordy. But anyway, okay. So here, the boss is Orion, so I need to take the physical damage one because I'm just clearing the middle path. Took that. I'm going to beat 18 here. This is my favorite adventure because it's the least stressful, I think, of all the adventures, because you can pretty easily beat this one and not really worry about what team you have set up. I mean, granted, you don't want to have a non-physical attacker against Rufus ideally, or one of the counters that I have posted, right? But and someone mentioned the other day too that Rufus is a counter to Yasmin, which I think is true and not true at the same time because Yasmin's poison ability, if the poison ability is the part of the effect that takes out Rufus, then right, Yasmin, Yasmin is countered in a sense. But if Yasmin uses a physical attack to take out Rufus, Rufus is donezo, not coming back. So that's where I kind of see a double-edged sword. I know someone mentioned in the comments on that video that Rufus can be a counter. I'm going to go ahead and say yes and no, you know. So, I mean, can be used to counter her, but not a hard counter, if we'll call it that. Gotcha? Okay, so Chris here saying, for me, I say Cyber Vault was a big disappointment. No Yasmin in it. Would like that avatar with sunglasses from her. I think that's a fair point. I was surprised that they didn't have every single hero with the sunglasses. That was an interesting move by them. We can check out what they actually had in them shortly because I think I was able to pull all of them eventually. It took a while. Got some luck involved for sure. There was one time when, because towards the end, I'm really looking for two things. I'm looking for those 250 chaos particles, and I don't know what you guys are looking for. Feel free to let me know what you guys are looking for as well. But I was looking for the 250 chaos particles, and I was looking for the avatars, and really that was it. Trying to think. Oh, there's the 50 soulstone chests. Those were helpful as well. I pulled quite a few of those, but I think those were the ones that I focused on. I know some people really wanted those Super Titan chests. Completely understand that. That's a good call as well if you don't have your Super Titans maxed. And let's see. So, yeah, you don't think they're... Hey, you know what? Sometimes, guilds are, that's a tough thing. Sometimes it's a good decision to stay. Sometimes it's not. It's a personal decision, and I completely understand. Sometimes, things happen. All right. So at least they didn't mess up every adventure. Fair enough. I think adventures are really tough for some people. I don't know why, but some people don't really like following any paths or yeah, I just think a lot of people don't like following paths is my honest answer on why pet adventures get messed up so often or they don't check the chat. One issue with the chat system as it is if you're not in the adventure already, sometimes chats that are said before the person joins the adventure there's no red mark here. So sometimes someone will type something and you'll see it once you open the chat, but there's no notification here that someone actually typed the paths out. So if you don't pay attention and you just hop into adventure and just start going, sometimes you'll miss it and you'll mess up an adventure. Other times it's a strength issue. There's a lot of things that can go wrong in a pet adventure. All right. So Chris, you also got all of them, but there is no Yasmin. Yeah, that's a bummer. I do wish that they had more of the heroes with the sunglasses on. It's kind of goofy. I like that. I like the avatars. I'm a big fan. Jay, would you like to hear about getting lucky? I would love to hear about any luck that you had, especially if it's in game. I'd love to hear about that. But if it's related to Thanksgiving and that times as well, nothing hurt there. Tell me about it. And all right. So Chris, for me, the sheets, party and sheets. Oh, the chests. Okay, gotcha. The chests. Yeah, I think the chests were good. I mean, they have 50 soul stones of any hero. That's a pretty good deal there. So Bruce opened up some Titan artifact spheres, around 72k worth of emeralds, and your 2-star water totem went to a 6-star water totem. Congrats! That's amazing. That's really good. Were you able to get that on video or anything, or like that? That's crazy. That's a lot of progress, and that's some really good luck there, Bruce. I'm super stoked for you. That's amazing. That's great news. Congratulations. I'm a little bit jealous myself. I do not have a 6-star water totem, not even close. So, congrats. That's a huge achievement, and that's awesome. Thanks for sharing that. That's awesome. Okay. Whew. That's awesome. Okay. Is your water totem at level 120? Because if it is, that's That's gonna be a tough thing to contend with, and I'm stoked for you, Bruce. That's a great day. You might want to go buy. You might want to consider looking into a lottery ticket. Just throwing that out there. Anyway, okay. Wow, that's great news. I'm so stoked for you guys. That's awesome. You're gonna be cruising, and I don't know if you're already getting to level set. You probably already were getting to the last level of tournament elements, but that's gonna be a big boost for you. And I'm hoping that the dungeon is no longer gonna be a major issue, and that's awesome, Bruce. I'm really happy for you. That's crazy. I am out of words. Okay, so I'm claiming here my Outland chests, of course, right? Got to get those free chest pulls. Let's see. Okay. So level up any Titan artifact. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and work on Avalon here a little bit. Do that one. Call it good for now. So we're getting closer, right? I just have these two heroes to max out Titan potion wise. I'm not in a rush on those guys. Don't use those other teams too much yet because my totem's still a work in progress. Got to claim these cards, right? And okay, so we got that. Claim these guys here. Level up any Titan artifact one time. Okay, so what I need to do is I need to go to my airship, and I need to claim all these expeditions. Actually, for the first time today, I was actually able to start this 5-minute adventure as well as a 10-minute adventure. So, not adventure, expedition. So that was the first time I was able to do 5 expeditions at one time. I'm sure some people have done more than that, but I was pretty happy with myself that I got 5 in. Tell me what your guys' records are. I'm sure someone has like 6 or 7, which is crazy awesome. But I don't know if anyone's gonna top Bruce's story. That is amazing, Bruce. I'm really happy for you. Okay. Question mark with the then there's me who's stuck at level 70 because I'm in a bronze guild. Yeah, that's gonna be tough because I don't think once you hit 70, I think you're gonna need those silver trophies. So you might be stuck at bronze or 70 for a little bit there. Let's see. You cleared 500 levels in the dungeon and had to stop because you're getting bored. Yeah, the dungeon is not the most exciting thing. I will say that. Yeah, I don't love the dungeon. It's important to do. Not to say that's not important. It's important to do, but it is not my favorite part of the game. That is for sure. All right, so been working on Jew a little bit because my Jew is not strong enough to take on Seymour. A lot of you guys have been asking me about Seymour. So I'm working on Jew, working on Astaroth because those are necessary in my opinion. I'm also working on Lars because he's someone I'm interested in working on, as well as Krista, right? She's slowly getting there. And we were talking about CyberCon. So CyberCon, as you can see right in my alt prizes. So I usually shoot for this 250 Chaos Particles. And in the alt prizes, here you can see the top prize is now gold. It's no longer the avatars because there's no more in there. So, yeah, so you need gold at 81. Got it. Okay, so here, right, I think I was able to get all the avatars from the polls in the CyberCon, right? So I think maybe if I just scroll down, maybe they're there. We're looking for those sunglasses. So let's see. Hmm. Winterfest moving more down. Come on now. Where are you at? So I didn't see them. That's interesting. Where did they go? Oh, there's one of them. There's the Luther one. There's Krista. There is a Lars one. I know someone said there wasn't, but there is a Lars one. Okay, we can go to unique. You might be in unique. Let's see. There is a Lars and a Krista one for sure. There is Celeste. There's 2 different forms of her. Of course, we have Nebula, just chilling, right? Thug life. We got Artemis. We got Leanne. We got Daredevil. How many is that? That is, I should have counted. That's 3 there because we had Luther, Krista, and Lars. That's 3. Plus we got 3 more here. We got Celeste, Celeste, and Nebula. That's 6. We have Artemis and Daredevil. That's 8. And is that it? I think that's 8. I think there's 8 total. So there's 8. So the Lars one might be from last year. Okay, that's possible. And yeah, good call, everyone who said unique. I was my brain was slipping. Thanks for catching me. Okay. All right. Okay. So we did get all of them there, which is pretty cool. The one that I think is really cool that I'm gonna try to work on eventually, and I mean the issue is it requires purchases, and I'm hesitant. But I think the one that's really cool to me is this 6th one, the Kai, the Cyber Kai. It's kind of dope. Not gonna lie. Oh, there's a Leanne for 9. Okay, so there's 9. Good call, Bruce. Way to stay on top of it. Okay. So we did our Outland battles there. And we've got to claim these before the 30 minutes expire. I mean, I guess they'll send it to my inbox most likely, if not. But I had a couple of group gifts that I did not get. So we got this one. We got the glyphs, or the runes. We've got some other good stuff here. We got 500 energy, right? Been waiting to use that. We got a top fan gift. A lot of people were asking about top fan gift. It finally happened, just I think about 3 weeks late, but it happened. Okay, so it finally happened. We got 500 energy I need to use right now. I'm gonna go ahead and look at Astaroth because I think there was something here that I was looking at. Nope, I was wrong. Maybe it's June. Okay, it must be June, and I'm gonna go ahead and just run all 99 right here. Let's do that. We only got 22. Seriously? Okay. Well, it is what it is. We were able to get this shining armor. So that should help you a little bit. And your Jew is OP. Well, that's all right. It happens. So here we have, okay, Valkyrie's favorite counts as a purchase. Also just buy cheapest emerald packages. I'm thinking about getting the cheapest emerald packages, but I cannot do the Valkyrie's favor. I've actually been unable to do it for a while now because of the way. So I got a reward for Hero Wars was like, thank you for making a bunch of content. And so they gave me a subscription. I think it was for, I don't remember the exact number of days, but I still have 51 days before I can actually make any purchases on it. So I'm saving. Thanks for coming in, question mark. Appreciate it. So here, I might have 51 more days before I can even do any purchases, which is good and bad. It's good in the sense that I don't have to spend on Valkyrie's favor, but it's bad in the sense that I don't get any credit for those purchases. So I can't make that purchase 3-in-1, but you're right. It is a good option for most. I'm in a weird situation. I'm unable to do that, but I agree with you. 3v1 has some great points. All right, so let's see. So what else do I need to do today? I need to mention Kai. So someone asked me earlier about Kai and what they are doing on mobile and kind of like how they might improve him because they've been talking about Kai so much. So here I have a screenshot actually of what they did on mobile for Kai. So they revamped some of his skills. Fetters of the Wind, they basically, as you can see here, right, on mobile, they basically increased how this damage output is calculated. So here the old one is 45% of the magic attack plus 75 times the skill level. Now it's plus 100 times the skill level. So 25, difference here plus another 100 at the end. And then Breath of Abyss. Whew. Okay. Damage was 30% magic attack plus 20 times skill level. Now it's 45 times skill level. So here you can see they did another 25 increase, increment increase. And then we have Explosive Sphere, right, which is one of Kai's really good skills actually. And they increased the damage there as well. So instead of 40, times plus 40 times skill level, it's plus 75 times skill level, plus 150. So basically, Kai deals a lot more damage. And hey, Grim, nice to have you here. So yeah, so here's Kai that's revamped on mobile, right? Again, basically they increase his skills pretty significantly, and they increase the damage output that he was doing, which is pretty significant. A lot of it's based off of magic attack, so that can be good or bad. But essentially, Kai has improved, and I like his new look. I think he looks better than he did. I don't know why he looked very cartoonish to me before. And I mean, granted, yes, I understand he's animated in a sense, but I think I don't know. For me, he looks better now than he did prior to the update. I don't know. He just looked odd before. That's my opinion. Um, so yeah, Bruce here had a major stroke of good luck. Went from 2-star totems using 72k emeralds, I believe, and was able to get all the way to 6-star for his water totem. So Bruce is having a great day. I hope everyone else is also having a great day. Graham, I hope you're having a great day as well. Nice to have you here on the stream. So, okay. So we talked about Kai a bit and kind of how they can revamp Kai. Let's take a look here. Was there something I needed to do in the airship? Now I'm not even sure. Okay, why is it all of a sudden deciding to be slow? Just going to refresh my page here. But another thing that I wanted to ask everyone about was, have you guys... Hey, Chris. Nice to have you here. Another question that I had for everyone was, have you guys heard of Among Us? And have you guys been checking it out? I know it's probably popular against maybe some of the younger folk, generally speaking, but it's a pretty popular game right now. I'm not sure if everyone's been hearing about it or not. I am considering, maybe doing some. I've been told I should make a Twitch and start playing it there, so I may consider doing that in the future. And 3v1 here saying consider using Google Chrome instead of Safari. You've also had some issues. Okay, that is completely fair. I may try to do that. The one issue is I'm not logged into Facebook there, but I will consider doing that. I'm not sure. It might just be it might be my browser. So I'm going to go ahead and quit Safari and then restart Safari. Hey Zidian, nice to have you here. And no worries, Chris. As long as you show up, you're here. Doesn't matter. This is not class, right? There's no no one's getting marked for being tardy or anything like that. That's not what we're about at all. It's just about having good times here, and it's nice to have people in the Hero War community here. So, all right. But yeah, Chris, 3v1. That's a great point. I will consider looking into Chrome a little bit more. I've just been having a lot of issues up here generally. I mean, I'm on the East Coast right now, and the other day I had like the power go out like twice. So yeah, I'm sure it's a combination of things here. So Chris just finished up the 4th movie of Harry Potter. Hey, the Harry Potter series is good. I would never knock it. I don't remember the 4th one explicitly, but I remember I watched it. I watched the whole series probably a week or two ago. So right there with you. Um, Nothing wrong about that. All right, so that would be 2 demerits. All right, we have a good time here. We have a good time. All right, so upgrading the gift of elements one time. Okay, so it looks like I have a lot of work to do on some of these guys here. Because I just finished Aurora. Okay, so that's what happened. I will work on eeny, meeny, miny. No, I'm just going to go ahead and do Daredevil. I don't really have a preference. They all need to get done eventually. So we did Daredevil there. We need to do EXP potions. And we will do Morgan. So Grimm's finished watching the Divergent and Maze Runner trilogy, and now is watching Body of Lies. So some good quality stuff there. I haven't seen all of them, but I've heard great things about Maze Runner in that trilogy. But, always good stuff. Opening chest and tower. I actually think This is for the CyberCon event, right? I think I didn't finish that one yet. So let me take a look because I want to make sure I hit them all. So I have 2 days left. Yeah, I'll be able to get that in the next 2 days, so I don't need to worry about spending any emeralds on it. There was one day I just completely did not do my tower run for some reason, and I had to spend some emeralds to make up for that, which that was my own fault. I don't know what happened. I just completely forgot to do the tower. Crazy. All right, so wow, Chris just got a level VIP 15 and 130. Let me rephrase that. Chris just got a free account, which is awesome. Congrats, that's awesome. And hopefully you got some good stuff on there. I always love to hear it. You got some great news happening right now in chat, and I'm loving it. Let's see. So Chris loves Outlander. That's fair. That's fair. Watch Lost in Space or the Umbrella Academy. I've heard great things about Umbrella Academy. I've seen a couple of the trailers. I never really got in. I never had a chance to watch it, but I may actually have to check that out myself. Um, hey, Bubble, nice to have you here. Always a pleasure. We're just having a good time today. I'm not gonna lie. I think it's nice to be here with all you guys, and we've got a great community of people here, and I love that. Just absolutely love that. All right, so I'm gonna finish this tower run real quick, which is basically just me clicking the button a couple of times. But yeah, CyberCon has been really helpful for me as well in terms of focusing on those 250 chaos particles, like I said earlier. And the reason I said that is that I was actually able to get 5 of my pets finally to Violet, which it took forever. I wasn't focusing on them all. I should have been. So I finally got that frame, which is awesome, and a long time in the making for me, just because I should have already been there, but I don't know what happened. Also, question mark, if you're still here, don't forget your pet shop purchases. Okay, so let's see. Merchant. No, okay. So CyberCon, right? I was talking about this 250 chaos particles. So my pets have been slightly upgraded. Everybody ready for Winterfest? I don't know if everyone's ready for Winterfest. I think once Astral Season's over, I will definitely be ready for a change in events. Astral Season's really long. Don't know how I feel about that. Yeah, so Bubble, yeah, no problem, Bubble. We will talk about pet patronage right now. And I actually have a quick vid on that. So if you have time after this, Bubble, I would recommend, if I can type YouTube, I can't even type it. Okay. So I just had a really good battle replay that kind of talks about this as well. So I would say if you have time to check that out later, check it out later. And I will, hold on, give me 1 sec. I will show you it. So if you go to videos and you look at, let's see, Hero Wars Battle Matchup, focus on pet patronage. Check that one out when you have time, Bubble. I think that one is helpful and will further explain kind of what I'm going to talk about as well. Okay, so pet patronage. The way this works is it doesn't really apply until you get to purple. So you actually unlock pet patronage at blue skill. And I forgot. Axel is like always like the buggiest of all of these pets. I should not have clicked on Axel. Of course, of course. And the reason Axel's so annoying is because Axel changes colors, so it really like slows down the speed of my internet. So here's Mara, right? Mara is blue. And so I have the option to attach pet patronage here, right? So Bubble, stick with me here. So because my Mara is blue, I can choose a hero and attach it to my Mara, right? Let's say like Lars, for example. But he's not going to get any of these bonus statistics until my Mara turns purple, which means basically when someone battles me, they'll see a pet mark here, but that pet is giving my Lars 0 bonus statistics, which effectively means that Mara isn't doing anything. So what you first need to do to have patronage be effective, you need to get your pets to purple, like Axel, right? So Axel's purple, and now I can put patronage, so I attach him to Jorgen, for example, right? More magic attack, more armor for Jorgen, and basically it just strengthens your heroes, and that can make a big difference. And again, I'm going to refer you to that last video because I think that really illustrates a point where you have a team that has stronger items. They're the exact same team. One has stronger items than the other one, but the other one has pets attached. You should watch that one later when you have a chance. But basically, pet patronage makes your heroes have bonus statistics and can increase their strength, but it doesn't apply until your pets turn purple. And here I actually have 5 purple now. Before, I want to say, like, before this event, I had 2 that were purple and Kane was getting close. But now I have 5 thanks to the 250 Chaos Particle pulls that I got out of that CyberCon event. So hopefully, Bubble, that helps explain some of it. And what you want to be careful about, right, when you're doing patronage, the really important thing to note is the bonus stats. What you really want to focus on is a hero that has, one or both of these statistics. So no hero that, well, I was going to say no hero has both of these, but that's not true. Like, for example, health and armor, right? Oliver is really good for your tanks because Cleaver is a tank, right? So he gets more health, he gets more armor, makes them more difficult to take down. So hopefully that kind of helps give you a rough idea of how bonus statistics work for patronage and why you should be using patronage. Okay. Let's see. Inherent Vice is a good movie. Do you know what? I'll have to check that out for sure. Orf has a good suggestion there. So Niels, do you have drop rates for Titan Totems? I have a video on the Titan Totems and at what point using emeralds you have the failsafe numbers, which is the guaranteed number of emeralds that if you spend X emeralds, you will definitely get your fragment by that time, right? So I have a video on that. If you have time, you can check that out as well. But there's no definitive drop rate. The drop rate's super low. I want to say it's well below 1%. I'll have to look. I know I have it available, but not off the top of my head. But it's a very low percentage. Especially if you're just trying to pull them using free spheres. Someone said that, I'm trying to think, someone who did the math said that on average it would take about 37 years just using free, spheres, assuming that you get them. But if they're being generous, they said it'd take about 30 years. So it's going to take a long time, if I'm being honest. That's just, just being honest. Okay. So, yep, Bruce, great point. Pets make a huge difference. Well, so the power of, or who to use them correctly. Some gems seem to only level patronage power. What does that mean exactly? So, okay. So, yeah, you're right. They're different. These items definitely do different things. So, here, what you'll see is, I think it's the items usually on the left. Yeah. So, the items typically on the left are going to actually give statistical benefits to your pet and to the bonus stats, is my understanding. The items on the right typically just increase your pet's power and basically your patronage power. Actually, sorry, scratch that. Patronage power will help you with your effects. These skill powers and penetration will help you with your pet. Sorry, that was wrong. I will... One more time. Okay, the left side items are for the pet that you're working on, right? So the pet itself. The items on the right are for your patronage, which basically helps increase the statistics for any hero that is affected by the patronage. So that is what's going on here. So with the rare sunstone, right, the patronage power will increase, right? So some of these stats will go up. And with these guys, right, you have skill power and magic penetration. Basically, Oliver will gain more abilities, is my understanding. So hopefully that kind of clears some stuff up there, right? But I mean, again, not all of them are going to be super relevant. That is my understanding. Okay, so Bubble, yep, okay, got that. So Ben here says, hi Jay, for my team with Aurora, Kark, Celeste, and Faceless, which support hero works best for my team? Sebastian or Jorgen? This is a great question, and I'm going to answer it with this. Typically speaking, right? And I'm assuming you're on Facebook or web. If you're on mobile, use Jorgen. If you're on Facebook and your opponent is not using Sebastian, use Jorgen. If your opponent is using Jorgen, Sebastian is good to use. So hopefully that makes sense because Sebastian counters Jorgen. That's like, I mean, I don't want to say that's the whole point of him because that's not true, but that is one of the major benefits of Sebastian is he straight up counters Jorgen. Especially assuming that your Sebastian outlasts the Jorgen. So Jorgen steals energy from the opposing team. If the opposing team doesn't have a Jorgen or their Jorgen's weaker than yours, your Jorgen's good to go. That will help your team ult more, right? Kark will go off more. Kark will take down opponents, mow them down. Highly recommend Jorgen. I think Jorgen pre-Sebastian was unstoppable and someone I would consider highly investing in. So I would say with your team, use either Jorgen or Sebastian, but I would say it depends on your opponent. So if your opponent uses Jorgen, consider using Sebastian, but in most other cases, go ahead and use Jorgen. You should be good. Okay. Neil's here saying if you attack a blue pet to a, or if you attach a blue pet to a hero, his power number will go up. I'm not sure if that's a question or if that you're stating that, but my understanding is that these statistics will not apply to your pet. So if your pet is simply at blue, the bonus statistics will not come into effect. Oh, well, actually, yeah, no problem, Ben. So I guess it's possible. I'm sure some of the stats will go up actually if you have it attached at blue, but you're losing out on this bonus skill, which I think is really helpful as well. So that is also why, pets are really beneficial when they turn purple. I just don't think that the skills are as effective at blue. I do understand that you might get a slight bonus in statistics, but I don't think it's enough to say that it's really worth it. Um, so yeah, the power for the hero still goes into effect. It's more limited. Let me put it that way. And I think I do think you just want to get your pets to purple, then you want to move on. Like, so here you can see I'm working on Mara next. I want to get her to purple, and then I want to get Merlin to purple, and then I will go back and focus on the pets that I haven't, basically finished upgrading because the items go up to purple +3 now. Or violet +3. So yeah, I understand. Yeah, there are some slight benefits to being blue, but purple is really where the pets make a huge, huge difference. Okay, so Bubble here. I run a dodge team, have collected all dodge heroes with the exception of Jet. Makes sense. Jet is one of the most annoying heroes to get and is slightly overrated. But anyway, okay, I'm level 81 with 200k power for my main team. Okay. Do I push now for Jet or is he really worth the effort at my level? I'm going to tell you this Jet is not worth it at your level. Not at all. I would, assuming you have most good dodge heroes like Yasmin, Nebula, I think Dante's a dodge hero, Aurora's a dodge hero. You should be good. Keep going with what you have. Don't worry about Jet. I wouldn't worry about Jet until you have most of your other heroes. Well, I wouldn't worry about Jet. That's my honest opinion. Jet is super. Jet is good, or starts getting better than worse once he starts hitting 4 or 5 star. So it takes a while to get there, in my opinion. So I would say Jet is not worth it, but he isn't terrible. He's really really hard to get, and I wouldn't worry about him because I think it takes away from your other heroes and resources. I would focus on your main team and go to Jet later. That's my honest opinion. And here Grim makes a great point as well. Jet may see an upgrade in the future, so don't count him out. I think that's a great point. Jet could definitely see an upgrade because I think for how difficult he is to get, doesn't seem to be worth the trouble in my honest opinion. Even though he has some great debuffing skills, easily countered with Sebastian because Sebastian will just clear out all of these defensive ailments, if we'll call them that. So I don't think that Jet is a great investment if you have an all dodge team. You have some other heroes that I think are more useful in focusing your time and resources, like Aurora and Yasmin, for example, maybe even Dante. So some of those are really good. Hi, Melissa. You made it to a live stream. We're happy to have you here, and I'm stoked. Love having you here. Definitely happy to have you here. We've got some great news. I know we had two guys with great news. So we had, where was it? We had Chris had some great news with level 130 account, and we had, I think it was, trying to think, it was Bruce. Bruce had the 6-star totem day, so really good day for him as well. So Melissa, hopefully you had a good Thanksgiving, and it's great to have you here. Okay, so Chris here is asking, don't know if it is good, but I'm working some more on Dorian, Helios, and Aurora. So Dorian and Helios are really good, especially with Orion, right? So that is what we taught. That's what we call the ODH combo. And if we look at Orion, Dorian, and Helios, right? And here's why I'm going to mention Orion. Orion's free to get in the tower shop, so that's really nice. And Orion also has these skills that basically allow him to hit 6 targets at one time and basically continue to barrage the opponent. So Helios is really good against critical attackers, right? So I would say that this combo is really good because Dorian has that vampirism skill, and it allows Helios, who deals mad damage to critical attackers, and Orion, who deals mad damage generally, to basically keep replenishing their health the more damage they deal. So that's why this is a very effective combination. The only concern with this team is that it's all mages or magic attackers. So you need a physical damage dealer if you come across, or someone who deals physical attacks when you come across a team with Rufus. So that's usually going to be in Grand Arena or Pet Adventures, occasionally in Guild Wars. Don't see it that often in Arena, but it does happen. So, that's why that's a good combo. Aurora currently is the best tank in the game. I just think she has the least number of counters available right now. And she's great against magic attackers, which are, the twins, and the twins are really, really good. And she is a counter semi to that, and she gets dodge and has that first artifact ability, which gives dodge to her entire team. And that makes, in my opinion, Aurora the tank to beat right now. Okay. Really appreciate the advice on Jet. Perfect. I do have Sebastian as my backup to my dodge team. Sounds like you're heading in the right direction. I agree with you, Bubble. You're definitely heading in the right direction. Not with Yasmin then. So, Chris, you can definitely use Yasmin with Aurora. Yeah, no, hey, don't knock. Okay, so I was just giving you another suggestion. I'm not trying to deter you from using Yasmin. She's good. She's great. So I'm gonna go ahead and give me one sec. I'm not saying your team's bad. That's not what I'm saying at all. I just didn't know that those were the other heroes that you're using. That's a perfectly fine team as well. So you have Dorian and Helios with Yasmin. Yasmin and who's, I don't know who your other hero is, but this should be perfectly fine. I mean, if you have, yeah, this should be a good team. I mean, you'll be great against other Yasmin teams because you have Helios as a counter, right? My one concern is kind of who your 5th hero is. So, I guess, you'd probably want someone to protect Yasmin a little bit more, but this team can work. It's just a matter of who your 5th hero is can make a huge difference in the ultimate matchup. I would say my honest opinion is the team, if you add Qing Mao to this team, I think this team is very, very dangerous, and I like it. Qing Mao, I hope, is gaining some more popularity, but she's highly underrated. She's crazy good. I don't know why people think she's bad. She's crazy good. So I highly recommend her. But yeah, I think if you run this line out, you're looking pretty strong. The only issue is if the opposing team uses a Jorgen, then I would consider maybe tossing in Sebastian. And I don't know where you would do that, but that's just an option, I would say. So yeah, hopefully that helps you out there. Okay. My twins can usually beat ODH teams within 10 levels. Hey, question mark. Twins are OP. I say it every time. People don't believe me, or they want to say that they're not, top tier. I don't know what people think, but yeah, the Twins are great. Anyone who says otherwise, crazy, crazy. Thanks, Jay. I hope you had a great Thanksgiving too. Thanks, Melissa. My Thanksgiving was spent studying, and I will probably be studying for the next couple of days because I have finals. But I appreciate that. I'm hoping to celebrate once I'm done with everything, which may be a little ways away. But thank you. I appreciate that. The kind words. So, Bubble, just a quick shout out to my Heidi. Not many people use him, and I love him in certain scenarios. Well, hey, Heidi got a bump with that skin, right? So Heidi got that new magic attack skin. Actually, may not be the worst hero anymore. Plus the dodge coming into effect. I think Heidi's a hero to watch and to pay attention to. I think, oh, it's the devil skin, yeah. So Heidi is a hero to keep an eye on. I think Heidi may become one of the heroes that becomes a dark horse and starts becoming very, very popular. Heidi is all about poison and long term damage, which, again, Sebastian's supposed to nullify that. But my understanding is that Heidi can deal so much damage and dodge so often that this could be a very, very dangerous defender. I think Heidi is a hero, again, last time I'm going to say it, but a hero to watch out for. Okay. Hey, trainer. Nice to have you here. Question: do you think that Astaroth, Krista, Nebula, Lars, and Martha, the Lars Krista team, do you think I should swap Nebula in for Jorgen or no? Okay, I'm gonna have to set up this team because I like seeing them and the way that they're lined up because I know people always, assume that all the platforms are the same, but I know Facebook and web are similar. But mobile has a different configuration. So let me just double check because I like to do it this way. So you have Astaroth, the twins, Martha, the tank healer, and you have Nebula. Okay. The question is, would you swap Nebula into Jorgen or not? Yeah, I would probably, in this instance, I would actually recommend Jorgen. The only time I would not recommend Jorgen is if you see Sebastian on the opposing team. And if you see a Sebastian on the opposing team, I would put your Nebula back in. But I would recommend Jorgen generally speaking. Yes, I think Jorgen is better than Nebula in this particular team setup. And of course, when you're facing a Rufus, you're going to need to put in a physical attacker here because right now, I mean, even if you had Nebula in, I don't think you have a hero that can take out Rufus. So I would consider having a physical attacker on backup. Okay, so let's see. Any chance the new pet event will be better to get Chaos Particles than CyberCon? My honest answer, but I don't know how to pronounce your name. Is it Batiglia? Sorry if I butchered that. But I do not think we will get a better Chaos Particle event right now than CyberCon. I haven't seen. Well, I'm going to back up. If we get a pet event, I don't think it will have better items than Chaos Particles in terms of the number of Chaos Particles. But I think it's possible that Winterfest has a better Chaos Particle event or a better drop rate or more of them. But I do not think a pet adventure event that we have will give us more Chaos Particles. Hopefully that covers my bases because I was about to say I don't think there's going to be a better event. That's not true. I think Winterfest may have a better chance at getting more chaos particles. But I think for right now, I do not think if we get a pet event, we will be able to get more than 250 chaos particles in a single mass pull, if we'll call it that. So I'm going to go ahead and say probably not. Just my opinion. I'm not sure, but that's my guess. Okay, so here we go. But like one. Twins are pretty painful, no doubt about it. The only real counter is to basically increase your hero. Well, you can go with a physical attack team, but that physical attack team needs to be pretty dang strong, if I'm being honest. And I think usually Galahad plays a part. Okay, just beat level 109 ODH Astaroth Jorgen with 59k Orion. Congrats, that's awesome. Orion's good, obviously. Does Sebastian's skill remove Yasmin's poison? I don't think it does, no. So, Ben, that's the thing there. Sebastian's skill does not remove Yasmin's poison. Um, I think that's one of the first things that they changed when they changed Sebastian's skill. So they changed Sebastian's ability to impact different heroes. And I remember when Yasmin came out, that was a big part of what made Yasmin lethal. Was Sebastian did not remove Yasmin's poison, is my understanding. I can double check that, but I'm like 99% sure that I remember reading that that was a concern. But I do not think that Sebastian removes Yasmin's poison. Can someone confirm that or not? But anyway, okay. What about Satori? Satori's great, underrated, but I think the other thing is Satori's really hard to get on Facebook and web, much easier to get on mobile. So Satori. Satori is the hero that he's on my main team for mobile. My main team on mobile right now is Astaroth, Twins, Satori, and Dorian right now. Wait, hold on. That's too many. Not Dorian. I usually use Astaroth, Twins, Satori, and Kira. That's who I use. I use a very offensive-based team on mobile. Okay. Haven't been lucky enough to find the Chaos Particles. Well, I'm sending you luck here. And as a joke, I always tell people that they should say bad RNG 3 times before they go for their pulls. And the reason for that is just RNG is really like the luck or the random number generator is what RNG stands for, right? So random R number and G generator RNG, right? So the random number generator is usually what mixes up things when we're looking for a certain item or drop rate. So I usually joke around that I tell people that they should say bad RNG, bad RNG, bad RNG, and hopefully you get a decent item. It works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But I just think it's a little funny thing that I like to do sometimes when I'm having a bad pull luck streak. I mean, it can't hurt, But hopefully, Melissa, I'm sending you good vibes. I'm hoping things work out and that you're lucky enough to find those chaos particles. Grim, thanks for joining my pet adventure. You can take either path. I would suggest you take the top one just because I know people struggle, but whatever you decide to do, awesome. Thanks for joining. Also, I'm jealous of your avatar. That's sick. Okay, so Bubble, can we switch to Titans for just a minute? No problem. The last artifact concentrating on health and attack. How much focus or leveling should be placed on those artifacts? Those are key. I think anyone who says they're not hasn't worked on their Titans very much. They're very important. My main team, which are these 5 right here, right? So all the Earth Titans and Araji, all of that last skill are maxed. And as you can see, they're winged. So I really focused on those. I planned on getting those there as quick as possible. So my main team, these are important. The issue is the gold. It's a lot of gold. So now gold is not an issue, as you can tell. But if you can level them up steadily, like I would just say, if you can do 1 to 2 levels max on your main Titans, you're good daily, right? Just do 1 level. You don't have to do all of them. Just like pick your tank, for example, and start from like level 1, go to level 2, and then the next day go level 3, the next day go level 4. for example, right? Just so you can make sure you definitely complete the Essence of Elements event, right? And you get those 400 for free. But yes, these play a major role. I'd say they're most important for your tank and your super titans. So those are the things that you should be focused on first. Then you can focus on your non-tank, non-super titan heroes that are on your main team, and that's what I would focus on, right? I would, once you hit level 70, things start getting more pricey in the number of the amount of gold that you need to level them up. So once you get there, things slow down. I understand, but I highly recommend that you definitely level those up. And it's nice because you don't have to use the essence of elements, which are hard to get, and you need to level up your other items anyway. So hopefully that helps you out there. I would say the amount of leveling, you should definitely try to get them to level 70 in terms of this last one sooner rather than later for the last artifact. But don't hurt yourself in terms of having not enough gold to spend on your pets and on your heroes as well. So make sure you still hold on to enough gold. So it's a tricky balance. I would say don't leave yourself hanging in terms of not having enough gold, but you definitely want to focus on those artifacts. Okay. You have Nebula way stronger than your Jorgen for the twins because right now I have Nebula buffed to purple +2 and Jorgen's still purple something, so my Jorgen is low. Trainer, you have nothing to worry about. Nebula will get you plenty far even if you don't have Jorgen right now. Don't worry about it. Keep focusing on your Nebula and the rest of your team. Go back to Jorgen when you're on your second wave of upgrading your teams. Don't worry about it. Nebula is still a great option. I'm just saying that, if we're saying like A wise, right? If we're saying like Nebula is like a 95 and Jorgen, in my opinion, is like a 96 grade or 97 grade. They're so close, it doesn't matter. You have a great hero team set up. You don't need to worry about that 1 point. Ultimately, you're gonna beat most teams with that team. If you had like I don't know, if you had like Mojo in there instead of like uh, you know Nebula, then I would be very concerned and say you have to switch someone out. But your team's good. You're chilling. So don't stress. Um, Ola, it's 3 a.m. for you, so you should really go to sleep. Good night, everyone, and have a nice dream. Thank you, Ola, for coming in. It's a pleasure. Yeah, I don't want anyone to sacrifice their health for being here, but it was great having you here, Ola. Big, big thank you for coming. Hey, Assassin, thanks for coming in. Always a pleasure, crushing it on mobile. And it's, thank you for helping out in terms of everything that you do for the guild, as well as those 80 summoning spheres. Those are amazing. Okay, so Trainer here says, so you said, Justin, that you put Nebula for Sebastian for the twins or Jorgen. I would put Jorgen a little bit above Nebula, and Sebastian probably depends on who you're facing. If you face a team with Jorgen on the opponent team, you want Sebastian. But if they don't have a Jorgen, then you're good to use your own Jorgen. So the only time that you're going to probably really need Sebastian is when you're facing someone who has Jorgen on their team. When you have the twins, I say Nebula is really good as well, but Jorgen is just a little bit better. But it's so negligible in difference that they're both really really good. And Bubble, I'm glad that it was helpful. Yeah, just don't hurt yourself on having enough gold there. Gold is really valuable, especially when you're first trying to, it's hard because they really make you spread it thin. But once you start having more gold, you'll have more breathing room. So don't worry about it too much. But I'm glad that was helpful. Melissa, how did you balance your resources between your titans? Did you focus just on your main team first and then level up your other titans, or you always invested in all of them at the same time? This is a great question. And for me, I at first started focusing only on my main team. The problem that I found quickly was that I was unable to get as far as I wanted in the dungeon. And what is significant about the dungeon is you want to try to you can get a total of 10 summoning spheres daily if you work with your team to get the 7,500, right? We still have a couple hours left before we have to finish this. And I haven't really run my dungeon yet, but So I was finding I was struggling in dungeon, and I'm an earth totem user. I didn't have much water at the time, so I really needed to have strike a balance. So what I ended up doing, I focused on my tank, all three super titans, and then I went back and focused on the other two tanks. And I kind of went like that. So first I started with my main team's tank, which was Angus, because I needed him for Guild Wars. Then I went to all three Super Titans and tried to get them to a certain level. I think at this time I was still working on getting from like level 60 to level 80 ish, and I had all these guys around the same level. Then I had the backup, call them backup, but basically my non-team tank titans, right, which was Sigurd and Moloch. I had them at level 70, so I had them about 10 levels weaker than my main, you know, tank and the other three super titans. Then from there, I slowly worked on my main team as well, and kept, I leveled them up to about where the backup tanks were at, and then slowly I would work in Nova and Ignis. But for the most part, I really focused on the tanks and the super titans, and I focused on my main team in terms of getting them stronger. But I also didn't neglect my tanks on my main team because I knew that they could carry me a decent way, even though not all the way. And the super titans will help as well. Ignis is really good, as well as Nova, because Nova has a stun. Ignis increases all attack. But Mary and Vulcan for me were heroes that or titans that I kind of left a little bit behind, that I'm coming back to now. But that's kind of how I went about it. I went mostly main team, but I really did focus on my super titans as well. Then I also focused on non-tanks. So that's kind of how I did it. Can you see if you can beat Seymour? Seymour. Yeah, I'm not able to beat Seymour just yet. I'm sorry. I'm close. I'm getting there. I'm sorry. I'm trying my best. What I really want to do is I really want to get my Jew, right? I need to get my Jew up to about 90k power. That's realistically what it's going to take. So I need to get him close to red. Then I need to get my Astaroth to get red as well. And the reason for that is his Seymour's attacks are devastating. He shoots his laser beam. I wish I could show you, but I'm not there yet. I promise I'm working on it. I promise. I know everyone wants to see me beat him, but I want to make sure that I'll be able to get him at 3 stars. And so the things that I need to work on, obviously, are glyphs. Really behind on my glyphs. He was at 0 all across the board not even 3 weeks ago. So I'm slowly working on these guys. But I promise you, you guys will know when I think I can take him, and it will happen, I promise. Apologies for taking the round about way on that, but I'm not ready yet. I will get there. It will happen. Not in a rush, but it will happen. Thanks, Grim, for the 3 chip keys. Always appreciate those. Awesome. We got an arena defense. People trying to knock me down in arena already. Oh, I already got knocked down a little bit. So let's see what happened here. So we lost a couple matches. It happens, He attacked me twice. Okay, well, whatever. He got lucky that one time, I guess. Cool. Thanks for attacking. Keep sending those arena coins my way. Appreciate you. But yeah, thanks so much for coming in, guys. I really appreciate it. I do have to probably get back to studying a little bit because I got some finals coming up. But this was awesome. It was great having you guys here. Super stoked. Thanks for sticking around. I know some of you guys, it's super late, and I appreciate that. And I look forward to seeing you guys all next week. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying CyberCon, and I hope I was helpful today. So have a great night and have a great weekend.